Hello, Lucas.
Yes, mate. How are you?
I'm fine. This is BWTM Sports. Ingram Jones here.
How are you?
I'm good, Lucas. It's a long time. We finally get to do an interview together.
That's right. Yeah. Everyone's lining up at the moment. That's great.
Yep, it's great to have you in the UK, Lucas. So, Lucas, talk to us about the Dillian Whyte fight, because before that, there was a lot of talk of you fighting possibly Joseph Parker, who now is fighting Anthony Joshua, who I spoke to yesterday. Where does that fit with yourself, and how comes that fight didn't happen?
Basically, in November, I was supposed to fight Kuzman in Russia.
Okay.
But then just as about to sign that, the Joseph Parker team basically got in touch with us and said, "Yeah, would you fight for the title?" Of course, you jumped straight at the world title over a general fight in Russia. And I was basically used as the pawn backwards and forwards for the Joshua negotiations. Now, obviously, Parker's gone the right decision and gone with the money and with Joshua, that's fine. But I didn't want to be the pawn in that situation. So when the Whyte sort of deal come up, we really went for that. Still sort of looking at possibly having the Parker fight, but we pretty much knew that it wasn't going to happen.
So the fight with yourself and Dillian Whyte, is that genuine bad blood, or is that just to hype a fight?
It is from my end. I'm not sure about him, but I genuinely don't like him. I just think he's an idiot.
What's made you feel that way towards Dillian Whyte?
Just the way he handles himself and the way he talks. An example would be he was going on about me living at my mother's house. Now, at the time, I was living in Perth and my training camp was in Sydney. So yes, I was living with my mother because I was in training camp in Sydney. But the way he was wording it was that basically I was broke, I was a pizza delivery man, and that's all I have to. I have to now live with my mother because I've got no money. So like that, it's just the way that he makes something very simple into a big deal just to try to get some attention. And I don't like the seeking side of things. And that, as I said, that's just one classic example, but that's just the way he talks, and I don't like it.
So when you come face to face with him in London, I guess that's tomorrow, how are you going to handle that situation? Do you be the Lucas Browne that everyone loves and appreciates, being very soft-spoken and well-spoken, or does it resort to something else because it's somebody you don't particularly like?
To be perfectly honest, I've been a bouncer, like obviously before boxing. I was a bouncer for 13 years, so I'm very good at knowing when to sort of open up and let myself go. At tomorrow's press conference, it really is going to depend on how he comes out. If he gets physical with me, well then unfortunately that's his fault. He's brought it on himself. But I'm fully aware that he has to sell the fight, so he's going to come out all guns blazing in regards to insults and words and all that sort of stuff. And I'm just going to laugh it off thinking it's funny because at some point I think it's quite sad, but I know what he's trying to do. So I won't be too affected unless he gets completely personal about children or something like that. And I said, comes physical with it, then it's going to get ugly. But otherwise, I'm just going to be myself. I don't hold any punches. I don't say things on social media and then come back and not say it in person's face. I'm definitely going to be saying everything that I say to you now to him as well.
What have you thought of his performances since the Anthony Joshua fight?
Well, basically, he's obviously lost against Anthony Joshua, and I think that's pretty much his claim to fame. I think he lost the Chisora fight, to be honest. And you can't really say too much about Helenius because it was 1 week's notice as well. So I think Helenius with a good 6 to 8 week camp would have troubled him a lot more. In saying that, like he's definitely what I sort of think is a good gatekeeper. He's the new Chisora, so to speak, where he can definitely box. He's got great skill, all that sort of stuff. But if you do beat him, you're going on to bigger and better things. If you don't, then you've got to go back to the drawing board. Sort of thing.
Are you surprised that the WBC #1 contender is fighting you?
I think it's quite stupid, to be honest, but it's good from my point of view. From his, I don't think it's a very smart thing at all, because basically with that one fight, it puts me right back into the mix with everything
see yourself as the A side or the B side? Because you're former world champion, unbeaten. So do you come to UK as the A side or the B side?
I think it's the B side because it has been more active, and I've basically had 3 fights in 3 years, and obviously all the bullshit to go with it. I think I'm the B side, but that's fine. I actually prefer to be that way because no one really expects too much, and then when I come out on top, it's so much more sweeter.
To go back, and I don't really want to go into the past, to be honest, but I spoke to your manager, Matt Clark. We did an extensive interview with Matt, myself and Matt. We talked about the 2 incidents that happened with you. Now, how much of that has had an impact on your career in 2018, getting fights, getting people to recognise you after the great win you had, winning the world title?
It hasn't been too hard, so to speak. It's just the fact that I do need to be in the public eye for something other than something to do with drugs. My last fight against Matthew Greer wasn't obviously he's not a flash opponent. I don't know if you call him a journeyman, to be honest. But it was just me getting in the ring and getting amongst it, going through the process of all the wrapping the hands, all that sort of stuff, and getting back in the ring. So for me, I think my biggest problem is just to basically get active again, and I think this fight's the best thing that could happen to me.
Do you think the possibility that you haven't been as active is the reason why the Dillian Whyte fight is happening?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's also just got a big head. I think he obviously backs himself, which is great. That's fine. But one thing about me, no matter how you perceive me, I've got the power to knock anyone out in the world. I can be losing 11 rounds and still knock you out in 12. Now, from anyone's point of view, I think that's a dangerous thing to go up against. I've got a very good chin. I'm learning more and more as I go. I'm getting better as I go, and the power's always going to be there. So yeah, as I said, I think it's a silly fight for Dylan Whyte, but at the same time, yeah, that's his problem, not mine.
I've always said that regardless of what people think of your footwork and regardless of what they think about your boxing skill, there's 2 things you've proven. You can punch and you can get off the deck when you've been dropped and come back and win a fight. That makes you a dangerous opponent.
That's right. And as I said, I can be losing 11 and still knock you out in the floor. So from that point of view, I don't sort of stoop down and get worse as I go. I actually get better as I go. So yeah, I think it's a very silly fight.
I want to talk a little bit about social media and Lucas Browne, the man on social media. You are very active on social media, or you have been very active on social media. From your point of view, how do you perceive social media and people tweeting you and leaving comments for you and all the rest of it? How does Lucas Browne see it?
To be perfectly honest, I've given my Twitter to my manager. I obviously give him the information to post and everything else. But in regards to having Twitter and looking at the comments and everything else, I'm completely utterly over that, and it's just annoying to me at this point. So I still control both my Facebook pages. Well, I've got like 4 basically Facebook pages and my Instagram. And I've found that basically the UK fans on Twitter was just not something that I wanted to read. Now, I'll read with that. The UK haters, the fans are great. The UK haters was just something I didn't want to read on Twitter. So I'll give that to my manager.
Fantastic. I'm really glad you said that because it kind of clears some things up. The other thing is, why? I don't know if this is a why, but it's how comes it's difficult to get an interview with you? There are some stories that say that Lucas Browne doesn't like doing interviews. There are other stories that Lucas Browne doesn't like telephone interviews. But you sound really good over a phone. So why has it taken so long?
I suppose it depends on how it all happens. Obviously, I'm in Australia, so I might be some sort of difficulty there. But I have no problems with interviews. I think a lot of the time, it's hard to have an interview when you don't have anything to talk about, so to speak. At least this time we have obviously the Dylan Whyte fight coming up, and there's something building. But as I said, with 3 fights in 3 years, there's not much you with, and there's nothing else to sort of really talk. So I think I have sort of shied away from them a little bit from that regard. But now that I have something to talk about, I'm more than happy to chat.
How did you deal with the situation, the dark times that you had to still carry on boxing despite the setbacks?
To be honest, I haven't actually worked a job, so to speak, in 4 to 5 years now. So I've made this my job, my career, my life, so to speak. So I enjoy the fact that I wake up in the morning, I train, I still have plenty of time to do everything with my children and take them to the training or whatever have you. And then be able to train again the second time of the night and really have my own life other than boxing as well. So for me, I know the fact that I've still got so much to give. I've got so much to prove, and I'll hopefully win a lot of money in the process. So there was never a thought of giving up. Obviously, there was a thought of how annoying is all this and when's it going to end. But the giving up aspect was never on my mind at all.
Tyson Fury, somebody that people have spoken about you potentially fighting in the future, blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts on his comeback now? And do you see that as a fight in the future for yourself?
Tyson Fury, I think it's just been a great fight. Anyway, I think the banter backwards and forwards would be sensational. The respect between us two has always been very good. I talk to most boxers, private message over social media, and we always talk, and it's always a great sort of conversation. I think it's great that he's coming back. I think the way he handles himself, obviously the character on camera and all that sort of stuff is always great to watch. But he can box, like he's 6'9", can move, and very awkward to box against. And I think him coming back would be an awesome for the heavyweight scene. And I think he should be able to reclaim the titles that he did actually hold.
What were your thoughts on Hughie Fury's fight against Joseph Parker?
I think it was quite sad, unfortunately. Hughie Fury should have had runners on instead of boxing boots. But at the same time, Parker showed his inexperience, basically his inability to be able to cut Hughie Fury off and actually do some damage. So it was quite a shitty fight for the heavyweight division, to be honest, especially a world title fight.
Now, in terms of the fact that both people from, you should say, Oceania, yourself and Joseph Parker, are in huge heavyweight title fights. What does this mean for that part of the world, Australia and New Zealand?
It's awesome, yeah. It really puts us on the map. I think there's been a big void for a long time. Especially from New Zealand, you had obviously David Tua, the people like that. From Australia, I'm the first ever Australian heavyweight to win a legitimate world title. So I'm sort of paving the way in some regards. Where Joseph Parker sort of picked up the torch from David Tua and kept going. So I think it's great for just having the young kids to be able to look up to something and strive for something, which is sensational.
Bar Dillian Whyte, is there anybody else in the heavyweight division that makes your teeth, makes you have to grind your teeth?
I'm not a fan of Deontay, just again, he's a big mouth. I don't rate him as a boxer in terms of boxing talent. The man can short hit, that's for sure. Like that's guaranteed. He's got some power there. But when he gets excited, he turns into a windmill machine and looks quite silly. Other than that, I suppose you could call Tony Bellew a heavyweight now, and he's definitely someone I'd love to fight in the face.
Tony Bellew, is that another guy you definitely would like to fight? Why is that?
He's just a dickhead as well. Yeah, he's just there's the arrogance about him. Obviously, he's done quite a lot of his own position and all that sort of stuff. But if you're going to shoot it off, then you should be able to back it up in a ring, I think. So if you want to shoot your mouth off about me, and he basically called me a drunk cheat, I should be banned for life and all this sort of stuff. If you're going to make these sort of comments, well then either say it to my face or let's get the ring and sort it out.
So the people have made those. How do you feel when people make comments about, well, he's a drug cheat and he should quit? How do you feel about? How does it make Lucas Browne feel?
Myself and the block button have become very very good friend.
Aha.
I've had it today. I looked at it today, and basically, welcome to UK, welcome to UK. Yeah, 5, 6 people down, and then drug street. Block. And unfortunately, it has become part of my life, which is quite sad, to be honest. But it's just what I have to deal with, and it's part of the parcel.
I have to ask you, and you can say as little or as much about it, because this is the Lucas Browne interview. What is your side of the story? I've heard Matt Clark's side of the story. I've heard various media outlets' side of the story. But what's your view of things, or what's your account of things, or what would you feel comfortable talking about, and how do you say what you have to say, and just put it to bed, to rest for those people out there that want to know what's happened?
Well, basically, I well and truly hard done by in regards to the Chicago side of things. The second one was completely and utterly my fault. I put my hand up for that. I went into a shop. I said, "Can I have a pre-workout?" and walked out. I didn't investigate. I didn't look further. All that sort of stuff. So that's 100% on me. To be called a 2-time drug shit, I think that's extremely unfair. Especially considering I haven't actually done anything wrong. So. Yes, I think I've been very, very hard done by. But again, social media and media in general paint the picture, and I sort of have to deal with it as well.
How do you think it can be put right, Lucas, in your eyes? I mean, you can knock people out, and you could forever knock people out. You could become a unified champion. You could become a disputed champion. What will bring peace to you?
Well, I've since sorted it all out in regards to supplements and anything else. I've had a clean test. I'm still with the WBC clean boxing program. I'm still enrolled in that. I have nothing to hide whatsoever. So I think from my point of view, if I was to continue to have the clean tests and continue to knock people out, I think it'd just be sort of not forgotten, so to speak, but just not spoken about as silly enough as it is. And just get on with it. Unfortunately, I think because it's been inactive, there's nothing else to talk about other than that. So I just need to get on with it and start fighting, kick lots of people out.
Lucas, I really appreciate you for just coming out and speaking your mind and being so honest about the things that you're going through or have had to go through. And there are some idiots over social media, and the block button is the best thing for them. In closing, when you look across to the way you were severely punished, and then you look at someone like Alexander Povetkin or Luis Ortiz, how does that make you feel inside?
It definitely makes me feel hard done by. That's boxing. Politics and money to rule the roost, but unfortunately that's their luck and not mine, unfortunately. But, as I said, if I can just keep getting on with it and keep fighting, hopefully I can come up against them and knock them out as well. But yeah, I think there's been money does rule the world. Yeah.
Absolutely, I've got to agree with you on that one. In closing, so now you go to the press conference tomorrow with Dillian. You fly out at the end of the week. What happens between now or when you get back to your neck of the woods? What happens in terms of training camp? Are you going to bring specific sparring partners? Are you going to do anything differently to what you've normally done because it's a big fight? What does Lucas Browne do?
Nothing differently, so to speak. I'll definitely go back to Sydney, training camp, possibly come back to either Manchester or London a few weeks early and have some sparring. People like Chisores, you got Nathan Coleman, people like that. So it's still yet to be confirmed, but obviously just straight back into camp and really focus on what needs to be done.
Final question. David Price has just confirmed he's fighting Alexander Povetkin. Is this suicide watch, or is this a winnable fight for Price?
Has Povetkin agreed though, or is it?
It's agreed.
Price? Oh, okay. Unfortunately, I don't think Price has got everything you need for a boxer, except heart and a chin. So unfortunately, yeah, I think Povetkin's going to win that one. If he can last the first 2-3 rounds, I think Povetkin's got it. But David Price is extremely dangerous for anyone on the planet. at it for at least 2-3 rounds, and then he either gasses or gets hit, and then it's all over from there.
Okay, I should have asked you about Joshua and Parker. Just thoughts on that?
I think 70-30 to Joshua.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucas. We appreciate you.
Champion, man. Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
Bye-bye.